XRP crisis looming? I think Crusader is buying. Question everything, trust nothing. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It's your boys, Keeper and Crusader, here on a Wednesday, ready to stream, have some fun, talk about some Bitcoin, XRP, and Crusader. Word on the street is, dude, you're ready to buy XRP finally. Is this the case? Is this a true story?
I'll buy XRP once it hits 10 cents again. I'll buy
10 cents. You heard it here first. When XRP hits 10 cents, Crusader's hitting the buy button. How many are you buying? One?
Oh yeah, I'll buy one and write it.
I'll buy one. Hey, but bro, you'd probably be worth 50K within a year or so.
That's all you need, right? With the buyback, and once the switch flips and it takes over the world, all you need is one.
That's a really good point, dude. I'm glad that we are on the same page. You can hold one. I'll continue to hold mine, and yeah, I'll see you on the beach. Crypto fam, smash that like if you haven't already. It's free. I'll tell you what isn't free, but it's going to be fun. Trading Wars. You guys have been hearing it a lot. You're seeing it all over Twitter. You're seeing it everywhere. We got another sponsorship looming in the background, but thank you to ZoomX. You guys have been great to work with. We're really excited to get this thing popping off. And I want to tell everybody real quick, Crusader, actually, why don't you tell the people what are the, and we'll mention this a couple times during the stream, but what is the incentive on the sign up and deposit right now through ZoomX?
Yeah, dude. So it's really good, right? Right now, you're getting $20 as a bonus for $100 deposit. You're getting,
well, but hold up. But if they put 1,000, it's 200.
Yeah, so you're getting 20%.
20%.
Yeah, you're getting 20%, right?
Yeah.
And then you're also getting 20% off all trading fees during the durability, the 30 days of the actual Trading Wars competition.
Yeah.
So you're getting a good discount on fees as well. And you're getting $1,000 to whoever in the audience has the highest P&L.
Hell yeah. We're super excited about it. It's coming up. Listen, guys, tomorrow, you're going to see a tweet go out tomorrow morning. I think it's going to be mentioned also on Ben Armstrong's live stream, but tomorrow morning, make sure you're paying attention to Twitter because the announcement will be made. We're announcing it now, but the live draft is going to happen tomorrow here on the show. And we've got some of the guys from Trading Wars. We don't have everybody confirmed, but a couple of the guys so far have confirmed for tomorrow. So we're going to come on, do a live draft, have some fun, talk some trash. So make sure that you guys are here for that because that's going to be super exciting. All right, cool. Let's dive into the, well, hold on. Before we do, we've only got a few people in here. We've been talking about the karate combat stuff, guys, and we have somebody in Twitter. I want to know, do any of you know this guy? Let me hold on, let me not pull up his DM, so let me just do it this
somebody way. Brave enough to show up.
We got somebody brave in the, here we go. Do you guys know this guy right here? I'm giving some free promo right now. My Crypto Journey. This is Rodney. He's got 37.6K. Well, Rodney says that he's going to put me to sleep, that he's going to eat me for lunch, and that I think he said it's easy money KO in the first round. Now, Rodney is, I found out, he's 6'1". He's 200 pounds. I'm 5'11" and some change. I like to tell people 6 foot because it sounds better. But I'm 5'11" and some change. I'm like 215 right now. So I'm thinking that, from his DMs, he says, good to find somebody else that actually trains. So apparently Rodney likes to train, likes to fight. We might just have somebody that might be a contender. We got to talk to George about it. We got to talk through all this stuff. Crusader, you ultimately, I don't know how many people they're going to end up having, involved in this. But if you got to pick one person, if you were going to jump in on this, who would you want to jump in? Who would you want to jump in with?
Between you and this?
No. Just anybody.
Oh, if I had to choose to fight somebody?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
it's all fun, right? Like, yes, we want to fight. I'm not saying he wants to kill somebody here. I'm just saying, like, who? If you just got to pick somebody.
I heard Lifer wanted to fight me on his stream yesterday. He didn't seem so interested this morning when I jumped into his live. When I told him, hey, bro, I heard you calling me out. So here it is, right?
Yeah, Crypto Lifer.
I'll let him know. It's on if he wants it.
We actually, I had fun on Lifer's live stream last night. We were talking about, I had been talking to Lifer. Lifer was saying that, he'd fight me. I was like, sweet, let's do it. Well, when we talked on the phone last night, his wife basically KO'd him, right? His wife said, hell no, you're not doing that. People value your brain, and we're not going to risk that. And so, yeah, I had a good conversation with him. Lifer's a good friend of the show. He's going to be on Trading Wars. I'm super excited about that. We'll see which team he ends up on. But yeah, dude, this karate combat stuff, I think it's going to be fun for a number of different reasons. But the savage talk on Twitter, bro, is just popping off everywhere right now.
Everyone's down about it. And it's funny. I actually tweeted this, but a few months ago on the show, we talked about karate combat. I even called out Mason. He ducked and weaved, right? And nothing happened from there. But here we are a few months later. Now everybody wants karate combat. I don't know if he's participating or not. I think he might be participating. I think he's fighting Joshua Jake, maybe.
I think he's going to fight Joshua Jake. I will tell you, with having seen neither of them fight, but seeing a TikTok, Mason's going to need to do some work. Okay, let me just say that Mason's going to need to do some work. I don't know anything about Joshua Jake in terms of that regard, but Mason's going to definitely have to do some work. I think Meg and Wendy would be an interesting battle.
That would be yes.
I know Meg actually fought MMA, so I'd probably put my money on her. But I've also seen Wendy box, and she looks scrappy. Right?
Yeah, there's no ground fighting in karate combat.
I know.
Meg has an advantage there.
Yeah, so that could be interesting. Somebody in the chat said, Crypto Al said, yeah, I heard he's a scrapper, though. That should be good. Okay, cool. Glad to hear that. Crypto Al also said, do we have to sign up on any other thing? So Al, I think you might have been one of the people that signed up already. You just need to make sure to have your deposit in there to get that 20%. So make sure that you do at least $100. We found that out last night. I would have told you guys this yesterday, but we found out tonight.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? A lot of people have been signing up. The show Trading Wars is starting on Monday, right? So start making your deposits, have your account ready so you can take full advantage of the time the trading starts. Don't start trying to, scramble at watching the show and trying to jump into trades on stuff later on, and you're still trying to deposit money and send money over. Start making your deposits now before this weekend so that you're ready when Monday starts and the show goes live. The timer starts ticking.
Yeah. And Green Day Profits, appreciate this. My understanding, and I don't know, I know that in the real circuit, you can bet karate tokens on the fights. So I'm going to just make the assumption that they're going to allow you guys to bet on these fights as well. And my understanding, do not quote me on this, but my understanding is they have kind of like a no-loss policy. So you buy karate tokens and you bet on a fight, right? So let's say you guys bet on me, okay? I fight this Rodney guy, right? And you bet on me. Let's say you bet $1,000 or whatever, it doesn't matter. But let's just say it was $1,000 and you lose, which you won't if you bet on me. But in any event, that's not the point. Let's say you lose or whatever the bet was, right? You don't actually lose the tokens, but if you win, you get the tokens. So the only interesting thing is, Crusader and I talked about this a little bit last night, is that it makes the token inflationary, because the way that they're going to be able to obviously give you a no loss policy is by creating more tokens to pay off the winners of the bets. But I'm saying it right now. I think I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I am betting on. I'm going to bet big on Ben Armstrong to beat Blockchain Boy. Are you thinking the same thing, Crusader, or do you think Blockchain Boy has an opportunity to beat Ben? It's not like he can lay on him, right?
well,
he's taller for sure.
He's got a mastermind plan, and maybe he's got a great trainer, and he's got all this ready to go, right, to get to rock and roll and get ready before. Maybe he can pull off a big surprise, right? Right now, we look at Blockchain Boy, you're like, he's not ready to fight.
Right.
But if he plans accordingly, he might be able to surprise some people that night, because with that size, dude, he's tall. He's huge.
He is.
And
he might be hard. He might be hard to get. He maybe has some power. I don't know. But what I will say is that if he did some training and could literally learn how to transfer that weight through a punch and really learn how to throw his hips into a punch, which is where you actually get your strength from, is throwing those hips into a punch. If he can figure that out, then yeah, I think Ben needs to be careful, because he's going to need to get inside on him. And Ben is going to be, I mean, dude, he's probably 6 inches. Oh, no, he's probably 8 inches taller than Ben, because Ben's 5'9", and pretty positive Blockchain is at least 6'4". I think he might be 6'5", but I think he's 6'4". Let's just even say he's 6'4". He's 7 inches taller than he is. Bro, if you stood next to somebody at 6'7", like, dude, it's a difference.
It's a David versus Goliath kind of battle, right? And it's gonna be a battle of stamina. Whoever can outlast the other with that one punch, who might be able to take the other one out.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, though. I'm thinking Ben's gonna be able to move a lot quicker, right? I'm thinking that Ben's gonna be able to land more strikes on, even if he doesn't knock him out. Even if he doesn't knock him out, I think he'll be able to land enough strikes. Also, if Ben's able to shoot his legs and take him down, that mat is going to shake, brother. Listen, no shade at Blockchain Boy. Listen, no shade. Like, yes, you can. 100%.
You can shoot at somebody's legs and take them down.
Yeah, you can do takedowns, and then you got 5 seconds of ground and pound.
Okay.
I read through the rules. Unless I'm missing something, I know you can't kick in between the hip and the knee. So you can't do the, jello shots basically to the legs. You know what I mean? You can kick below the knee and you can kick above the waist. I do know that. You can't use elbows. I'm not positive about knees. You're allowed to do like leg strikes. You're allowed to do if somebody kicks you, you're not allowed to do just like straight sweeps, like leg sweeps. I do know that, like an actual sweep. But if they kick you, you're allowed to catch their foot, and then that is considered a legal sweep at that point. So there's definitely some technicalities there that people are going to need to pay attention to. But yeah, and so somebody asked, like, I know, guys, we'll stop talking about. Nobody said this, but I know we're going to talk about crypto here in a second. So let me just hit this real quick. Al, I know Al wants to get involved in this. Got to be KYC for Trading Wars? The answer is no. That's one of the things we like about ZoomX and one of the other possible partners. I'm not going to mention them now, but we like our privacy. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean you do anything wrong. Just means we like our privacy. And the $100 deposit, does it got to be crypto or does it got to be cash? They're not going to care. That will not matter, because ultimately you could trade with Bitcoin, you could trade with USDT. No, that would be, you're fine. Crypto, cash, whatever you want to do. My crypto journey is in the house, saying Rodney with the dub, baby. He's in here right now. He found out via a little Twitter message that we were going to be, a little X message that we were going to be on. Rodney, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you, brother. DYOR. Just dig in, do a little research, and hey, let me talk to George. We'll see what's going on. All right. We'll just leave it at that. Bro, this is going to get hot. I'm telling you. People love a little bit of action. They love, you know what I'm saying? They love a little bit of spice up in the crypto space, because shit, things are boring, bro. Right?
Dude, these are the
so why not knock somebody out? I mean, when things get boring, just start knocking people out. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I love you guys. Let me jump into the chat real quick before we dive into the markets here. Green Day Profits in the house first. That's 2 days in a row. Green Day Profits. We appreciate you, brother. Scan QR, buy the dip. I don't think I've seen that name. That's a good one. In the house. Crypto Al in the house. Let's see who else in the house. Alessandros. I'm never going to be able to pronounce that last name, or I would try it. Thank you for being here. Crunksy up in the house. Good to see you, brother. Oof is here. And then My Crypto Sleep is, My Crypto Journey. I was just thinking about what I was going to do, put him to sleep. Sorry, I got a little bit confused there. He's in the house. And then Alex Kaimana and Sophisticated Dirtbag Fly Fishing. We love you guys. We appreciate you for being here. All right, cool. All right, make sure to smash the likes, guys. Make sure you've got the hit all the algos for us. We appreciate you. Let's take a look at the markets. We'll start there. The global crypto market cap is at 1.07 trillion with a T dollars. That's down 1.97%. Bitcoin 26,613, struggle bus, down almost 3%, 2.69%. ETH, hurt my soul, $1,553. It is down 5.22% on the week. Tether holding strong in $1, baby. Let's go. BNB's at 206, XRP 50 cents. It loves that number. What else we got? Solana. Well, shoot, Solana's down another 5%. And then Cardano, Doge, and Tron down as well. You guys know how this works, right? Red on Bitcoin, red on every freaking thing else.
Bitcoin down, everything down.
Crusader, you want to pop off a little TA? You want to drop a fib retracement on to show. Hold on a second, to show My Crypto Journey how he's going to fall towards the mat. You want to pull a fib on that?
50% drop is coming in his future.
What do you got, bro?
All right, guys. So here for Bitcoin, we've once again come back to this annual PIV. We actually were below it earlier today on this daily. We dropped as low as 26,000, about 550, give or take. We've been able to somewhat start closing back above it. We need to close above this annual PIV. We do not want to see ourselves closing a candle below this, or it's going to start spelling some really bad news for Bitcoin. We're right on the line right now. We need to get a little bit better, right? A little bit closer to that 27,000 if possible. But we also have here this regression trend that we have are perfectly right retested the bottom of this, right? So we have a chance of bouncing off if we can hold above this annual PIV and keep moving up to the upside once again. We can see this for the rest of this month. All we need to do is close above. Let me see. Let me actually jump over to the monthly to show you guys how close we are to a green month. It's not that far, even though it looks like doom and gloom right now. We just need to go above 27,000. We close above 27,000 and we are green month. Even if it's not going to look great on the chart, on the monthly chart, we will technically be green. Hopefully we can do a lot more than that. But I wanted to show you guys something else here on the weekly. Got this new indicator. I forget what it's called, but look what it's doing here. It's something kind of really interesting.
Forget what this thing's called, but it looks fucking cool.
Just imagine, look at this. So, like, well, actually, this is the weekly. We are jumping out to the daily over here. Look at this. Look at this. It's been pretty good and pretty accurate in these bear markets and bull markets, to be honest. So let me zoom out here. And you guys can see here,
Oh, yeah.
look at this 2020, all green. It was only red for a short period of time. This was the COVID dump. We went fully green all the way up, and then over here in May of 2021, when we had that big crash, right?
Yep.
It was red. This is a lagging indicator, but it's pretty spot on, right? It's not gonna get the direct top, but once again, then we had the second rally of the year, right? Of 2021, we went all the way back up to 69, 67. Obviously, it's like I said, it's a lagging indicator, so it doesn't catch the top before turning red. And then we've had these bear market, right? The bear market has been started. We've had these little rallies of green in between. And now, once again, this year, look how we start to flip green, right? 2023, we flipped green. We've had a massive run. We've had some downtime, obviously. We're having some downtime now. But if this keeps being as accurate as it was in the past, right? It predicted it was green throughout the entire bull run of 2021. And in 2020, it was only red during the COVID dip right here, right? As I can zoom back into here,
Yeah.
this little dip right here. So it's pretty accurate at what's going on. So if we stay green, you know, if we flip green over here on the daily, it's actually a lot better on the weekly.
Oof is saying Bitcoin's going to pump heavy tomorrow. Biggest pump of the year tomorrow. Oof, tell me in the chat, why do you think Bitcoin's going to have the biggest pump of the year tomorrow?
Somebody was talking about, I saw a tweet about SEC and spot ETF a decision for Grayscale, but I thought that was delayed. So I don't know if that tweet was accurate at all. So he might be referring to that. I believe the decision was supposed to be on the 13th, but I'm pretty sure those decisions were delayed for later in the year.
Okay. Well, we'll find out. We'll keep you posted, Crypto Fam. Make sure that you are tuned in, subscribed, bell notifications on. We got wild things happening with Trading Wars coming off, Karate Combat, all the fun stuff happening in the crypto space. Listen, we got to keep things interesting during the bear market. We got a lot of interest coming up on Trading Wars. Again, 20%, whatever you deposit, 10 grand, 2 grand coming your way. $1,000, $200 coming your way. $100, $20 coming your way. And then 20% off your trading fees. So make sure that you guys get that money in there so that you're ready for Monday, because we're going to rock and roll from there. And you guys got 24 hours a day to trade, whereas the traders only have the 1 hour time slot from 3 to 4 on the show to be able to, trade. So that'll give you guys a little leg up, so to speak. All right, cool. Let's dive into a little bit of articles right now, since we are, it's a Wednesday. Let's talk some Bitcoin first. I think this is interesting. The Bitcoin 16-year cycle and its correlation to the internet bubble. Okay, you've caught my attention. Everyone has heard about the 4-year cycle that Bitcoin's going through, but have you ever thought of the idea that Bitcoin might be going through a bigger cycle? And could this bigger cycle reflect the way that humans adopt new technologies? And is it possible we've seen something similar before with another technology like the internet? In this article, we're going to be diving into a new theory that suggests Bitcoin is moving through a larger 16-year cycle, which can help us predict the direction of Bitcoin price in the coming years. Okay, so we all know about the 4-year cycle, right? We've talked about that. Divides into two parts. Basically, you have the uptrend and the downtrend. Okay, that is, you can see right here, 3 years of an uptrend, 1 year of a downtrend, 3 years up, 1 year down, 3 years up, 1 year down, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we all know about that, right? The dot-com cycle, let's talk about it. You can't ignore the similarities between the market structure of the S&P and the dot-com cycle and the Bitcoin cycle. The regular financial markets also went through clear 4-year cycles, with the majority of the cycle being in an uptrend, and the downtrend, also known as a bear market, shortly lived. From my perspective, the dot-com cycle started around 1986, as this was the moment Microsoft went public. One of its biggest companies, the dot-com cycle. The first 3-4-year cycles of Bitcoin look very similar. Check this out, to the first 3-4-year cycles of the S&P starting from 1986. And it does look really similar, dude. Up, plus or minus 4 years, down, up, plus or minus 4 years, down, up. You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on this, Crusader? Do you think that actually there's a correlation? So with traders, they're always looking at numbers and charts and statistics and blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like things, for me personally, I feel like things grow at a different rate, right? Whereas the adoption of the internet, once it grabbed, I mean, it freaking just absolutely changed everything. I feel like Bitcoin and crypto has done that for the people that are in it and the people that understand it, but it hasn't grabbed hold of just everybody yet. Like, what are your thoughts on something like this?
Yeah, man. I think, part of being inside this simulation that we live in, it's part of those things that everything somewhat rhymes with another asset, right? Like SMP, something that's already well established, right? Gold and the tendencies that gold has. So does Bitcoin, and have it, and has it better. So I think we're always going to see, and as instinctual creatures that we are, and like to build habits, we like to find patterns, and we're going to squeeze things in to look somewhat it's only safe once we can start seeing and correlating it to previous data of other assets that have succeeded, and we're like, okay, it's very similar to S&P 500, so therefore it's safe, right? Oh, this is the next .com bubble, right? We're trying to find the next Amazon of the cryptos, so people feel safe in that type of mentality. There's always going to be similarities. I think that just the fact that we're going digital, everything's going digital. The fact that Bitcoin is digital gold, it hasn't been acting like digital gold right now, right? Gold kind of had a little bit of a move up in this last time when this conflict has just arisen last week. Bitcoin hasn't been reflecting that currently, right, day to day. But if you look at the year overall, Bitcoin is doing a lot better than gold has been doing in the year overall. Gold erased all of its profits in the entire year already. So it goes to prove that even though Bitcoin might not be the risk on asset that people want it to be right now and instantly jump in when something arises, in the greater scheme of things, people still prefer to hold Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has been a lot higher, made a lot of profits this year, almost up 100% from its lows of December last year. So it's still outperforming all the other assets. So I think, it's fine to find safety in correlations and patterns to other assets, but Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are just in a different league, especially Bitcoin. I'm not even going to throw all the altcoins in there. Obviously, there's always exceptions to the altcoins, but in general, Bitcoin is in a league of its own when it comes to any other asset. And trying to compare it and, the volatility, the risk, the whatever, I think the risk is larger not to hold Bitcoin than it is to say that, it's not a good asset. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason that we want to educate people, because we believe in this future, this thing that is called Bitcoin. Has done so well for us. We've seen it do so well for so many people. And I just feel like we're getting to the point where the ability to truly make life-changing money is coming to an end, in terms of like with small amounts of money. Obviously, people that already have big money, they're able to invest and, increase 100, 200, 300, 500% for sure. But with small money, I think this might be the last or the second to last run to where like some wild, besides the one-offs, there's always something wild that happens. Crazy.
Yeah, we talked about it while you were gone. I made a show all about the Bitcoin statistics that people don't really know about. And basically, nobody's going to be a whole coiner after this next bull run. Like, if you don't own a full Bitcoin after this
You're
next
probably not
bull
going
run,
to.
you're never going to own one at that point. The amount of Bitcoin that exists for everyone, on top of, for everyone in the population, is fractional, super tiny. Then if you add just the millionaires, right? There's like 26 million millionaires or something like that in
Okay.
the entire world. You add all of them up, then they have fractional amount of Bitcoin within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start taking into institutional players, right? We're talking about BlackRock, we're talking
Which
about
have already
Coinbase,
eaten up a ton.
yeah, that already hold a ton. Coinbase holds 5% of the supply.
Mm-hmm.
MicroStrategy is buying up a ton of Bitcoin, right? Every time they're making these massive buys. The number was 80, it was thousands. It was like over 80,000 people are no longer allowed to be able to ever become a whole coiner from every single purchase that these institutions are doing.
Yeah.
80,000 people are just out of the list. You'll never own a full Bitcoin. So I believe this is the last time that somebody can accumulate a full Bitcoin before that time's up. And that's just the scarcity of it.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and when the girl saw my email address that I gave her, she asked me about it. I'm not going to say it on here, but she asked me about it, and she knew it had to do with crypto. And she was like, "Oh, like, don't you have to be like really smart to be like in crypto?" And I said the same thing that I'll tell everybody else. Like, if you're newer,
What did you
it's
tell her? No, you got to be real dumb not to be in it.
be stupid not to be in it. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And then I threw the pen down and I walked out. What I said to her was, I said, "Well, do you this is a question that I've heard other people ask, so I used it. I thought it was good. I said, "Do you understand how the HTTPS protocol works on the internet?" She said, "No." And I said, "Okay, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a fundamental understanding of what crypto is and how it operates and whatnot, but to be a really smart person, that would be somebody diving in on a daily level like we do and understanding smart contracts and the way that things interact and the different networks and all of that. Sure, like you need to be involved in it, but I would just say read the Bitcoin Standard. It will totally change your fundamental understanding of what money looks like, because we have been being deceived for years and years and years and taken advantage of. And most people don't even realize it. They don't actually recognize the fact that the government is actively taking advantage of all of us, making us, as Crusader calls it, debt slaves, throughout our lives to a piece of paper that has no backing, no intrinsic value other than just the fact that the government says, "Hey, we'll take this as legal tender
Yeah,
and we
man.
might protect you or put our own government against you if you don't do what we tell you to do." At
That's
this
the
point.
biggest simulation of them all, right? Is people cannot break out of the fact that the dollar doesn't actually hold any value
Yeah.
at all.
It
It's not backed by
Because they can
anything. It
spend
is
it, so they just
monopoly
feel
money.
like, yeah, they feel like, because I can spend it, it is what it is, which
Mhm.
they're not exactly wrong, but the moment that things topple in the wrong direction, the moment this house of cards goes, it's gonna be like Venezuelan money, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Just like you can spend it, the government spends a lot more.
yeah, they are much better at spending money than you are. I can promise you that. What were we spending? $1.2 billion a minute or something wild, an hour or
Something
something?
super wild. We're like $500 billion in debt in the last 4 months on the way to make $2 trillion.
That's
At the
so
end of this
freaking
month,
ridiculous.
dude, it
It's
is
insanity.
ridiculous. So, like,
Yeah.
who does the dollar actually work for, right? The dollar's incentivized to exist for the government to spend because they can unlimitedly print or just create debt ceilings or raise more money with bonds and more fugazi derivatives to be able to spend more. Meanwhile, you have to work, 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 and save, 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 save. They don't, right? So by the time you can purchase what you really want, they've already spent so much money of your future money that you've been diluted.
Let me touch this question real quick. I think what this is supposed to say, so how can Bitcoin be a store of value if what you have put in has no value? Asking for a friend. Well, listen, we've talked about this a lot before. Just a simple explanation is value what two people or more agree upon. If we agree that coffee is the value in my city, then people are going to trade coffee in ounces or whatever the denomination is. Okay, cool. The great thing about Bitcoin that gives it its intrinsic value is a couple things, but one main thing is you have to create the Bitcoin using power. And that power, you're spending money to create the power. If I told you what our power bill is going to be down in Paraguay, you'd be like, "Huh?" Right? Like it's wild, right? You do spend quite a bit of money on power. So intrinsically, you're spending money to create something, right?
You're
That
spending
has a that
resources to be able to create Bitcoin.
Yeah, and it has a cap, right? So not only do you have to spend money to be able to create that value, but it's capped. So it has supply and demand built into it. Then on top of all that, You can be your own bank and be on this beautiful thing that's called the blockchain. There's so many layers to what makes this valuable that you can travel overseas. I mean, literally, if I could just remember my keys in my brain, I could travel anywhere I want to go for the rest of my life. That, and assuming, you know, that the places take Bitcoin or whatever, and I could literally just live my entire life without a bank, spend and receive Bitcoin to a wallet, boom, bam, slam. Guess what I'm not doing? I'm not paying fees to these damn banks. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're going to pay some network fees and things like that. But ultimately, that's just to keep the whole, you know,
Yeah, to keep the whole thing rolling.
network going.
You know, people get complain about the Bitcoins, how slow it is. Look up the Lightning Network. It is
It's fast.
exponentially growing.
Mhm.
It is being adopted massively in all types of different countries. People are using it. It's super simple to use. It's straightforward. The
Yeah.
Lightning Network is what's allowing Bitcoin to be used super quickly off chain and then be brought back on chain transaction. It also adds some level of privacy to it as well. And what I was going to say on top of that is that's why it's called the greatest transfer of wealth, right? The question was, how can something have value when what you're putting in has no value? That's why it's the greatest transfer of wealth. You have the opportunity right now to use this thing that's fugazi, that's, you know, just dust in the wind, to actually purchase an asset that will last the lifetime, right? That will last forever, that no one can take from you, that
Mhm.
is backed by energy, the greatest commodity of them all, right? The thing that has the most value, that makes the world go round, is energy in any kind
Yeah.
of form that is used. Energy is what backs Bitcoin.
It's one of the most genius. I mean, whoever Satoshi Nakamoto is, I mean, it's just the most genius idea.
Dude, look at
Ever.
us, bro. Look at us talking about Bitcoin. If anybody jumps into the stream right now for the first time, they're like, these guys are Bitcoin maxis. These guys only talk about Bitcoin.
And speaking of only talking about Bitcoin, we're actually going to move on to a little asset called Cardano. I know a lot of people love that. But before we do, smash the like if you haven't already. Sign up for Trading Wars. It starts Monday. Get yourself a 20% bonus. Get yourself 20% off your fees. No matter what you put in, 20% coming back at you, at least for the first 100 people or so. At
Yeah,
any
for
event,
100 people.
yeah, the
The
first
link is in
100
the chat,
people.
pinned
So,
to the top.
okay, you got it pinned in there. Okay, dope. All right, let's talk some Cardano. We definitely like us some
Are we
Cardano. I
talking
know.
Cardano, or are we talking about the Bitcoin update that's going to compete against Cardano?
Well, we're talking about Cardano, Ethereum, and are they in trouble because of the update? So are Cardano and Ethereum in trouble after this Bitcoin update? So if you haven't heard, there's an update happening. It says the crypto industry and community are abuzz with the latest Bitcoin update, BitVM. This computing paradigm designed to express Turing complete Bitcoin contracts has the potential to revolutionize the Bitcoin network. What is even more intriguing is that this does not require any changes to the network's consensus rules. Instead of executing computations on Bitcoin, they are merely verified, drawing parallels with optimistic rollups. This mechanism allows any computable function to be verified on Bitcoin, paving the way for smart contracts on the Bitcoin network. But what does this mean for Ethereum and Cardano, two giants in the smart contract space? So here's kind of a little chart
For all
showing.
the Einsteins in the chat that can understand that, that's how it works.
Yeah. This talks about transactions, like basically money coming in, money coming out, hash rate. I mean, yeah, there's a lot there. But Ethereum, once an undisputed leader in the DeFi and NFT sectors, has been experiencing a downturn. The once thriving DeFi and NFT landscapes have lost their sheen, with users becoming wary due to recurring scams and perceived lack of innovation since the 2021 bull run. Cardano, on the other hand, has been positioning itself as a more efficient and scalable alternative to Ethereum, but it too faces challenges in gaining widespread adoption. With Bitcoin's BitVM, the game could change dramatically. The ability to perform complex off-chain computation without leaving any trace on the chain unless there's a dispute is a game changer. It offers a level of privacy and efficiency that could make Bitcoin a formidable competitor in the smart contract arena. If Bitcoin can successfully implement and popularize this feature, this is the important one right here. Popularize this feature, at least for now. That's how it's been in the crypto space. It could potentially draw developers and users away from ETH and Cardano. The trust and security associated with Bitcoin, combined with the new capabilities of BitVM, could make it an attractive platform for developers looking to build decentralized applications.
Bro, I'm excited for this.
I'll bet you are, because you're definitely
Um,
more of a maxi than I am.
I'm excited for this because this builds into the Lightning Network thing that I was talking about, scalability, and it builds into the aspect of the update that happened last bull run, the Taproot, which was on the diagram there, which makes this possible. But it also, this is what Jack Dorsey has been working on in the background. Jack Dorsey has been working on Web 5. Right? We're not having Web 4. We're skipping Web 4. We're going straight to Web 5. And Web 5 is everything Web 3 was promised to be, right? A complete digital ecosystem, but all built on Bitcoin. And this Bitcoin VM, virtual machine, which is what Ethereum has, which makes it compatible with a bunch of other blockchains and smart contracts. Them having that possibility and that feature implementation on Bitcoin is going to be massive for the Bitcoin maxis, for the Bitcoin community. I mean, look what Ordinals popped out throughout this bear market and was massive out of nowhere.
For a small
Imagine
amount of time.
actually have, yeah. I mean, they're still going. It's just the popularity is not there.
Yeah.
But just imagining the bull market having smart contracts being built on Bitcoin and having dApps and DeFi and all these things coming out on Bitcoin. Look what it did for Ethereum in the last 2 bull runs.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine what it can do now, especially with the spot ETF coming out on top of that.
Yeah. It could be huge. It could be huge. I think there's been so much built on the Ethereum network and on Cardano, but ETH specifically. I don't think it'll take it down. I think there's room for more than one. So I don't think it's a concern like that. I think what they're saying is moving forward, if they're able to make it efficient enough and scale this out and popularize it, then it could be something to look at moving forward as the price appreciation of Ethereum might not be as solid because, hey, well, Bitcoin's solving the same problem and we love all of these things about Bitcoin versus Ethereum. So maybe we'll go here instead of there.
It solves a lot of the problems that people always like to tend down to be on Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's dinosaur technology. Oh, Bitcoin can't be updated. Oh, you can't do anything with Bitcoin. Well, here it is. It's happening, right?
It is happening. It is happening. Smash that like if you are here for the updates with Bitcoin and super excited about that. I think
Oscar, that goes live and does become what it's supposed to. I don't think Ethereum's ever going to flip Bitcoin. I know there's been a long-term debate on Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. If that happens, there's a bunch of smart contracts and things being built on Bitcoin, Web 5 takes off and spot ETFs. That flipping is never going to happen. And could be wrong.
Yeah. I hold enough ETH that I'm looking forward to ETH continuing to pump towards the moon, but we'll see. This is why they're investments, and investments all hold risk because you don't know the future. Period. Right. So we figure out what we think makes sense for us. We make decisions for ourselves. That's why we don't give financial advice on here. We're not financial advisors. Even if we were, your financial advisor can't always give you the best advice because they can't see the future. It is an investment which has risk associated with it, which is what all of the things that we talk about are.
And how can they give you the best advice when they're not even allowed to talk about crypto, most of them?
It's a good point. I've talked to one of the guys at the gym about that, and he's like, we're just not allowed. I said, you're not allowed because you guys are scared of it. He works for Chase, by the way. All right. So, like I said, smash that like, put on the bell notification. Let's talk about Crusader's favorite, XRP, which he will be buying if it hits 10 cents. XRP crisis. Market downturn signals bearish Q4. Traders brace for impact. As the crypto market struggles in the red ocean of downtrend, a crypto analyst revealed a surprising analysis for XRP. The crypto analyst under the pseudonym Leb Crypto took to X to point out that the candlesticks on the XRP USD 1-week chart have been touching the long-term support trend line. Expecting a bearish sentiment in the future, the crypto analyst stated that if the candlesticks break below the support trend line, it would reach the 29 cents support. The crypto analyst further predicted that if the downtrend continues, it could hit 17 cents and the bear market may prevail in the fourth quarter. While some may see this as negative news, few traders may take advantage of this hypothetical scenario. One of the potential ways for traders to take advantage of this scenario is to enter XRP market when it's at 17 cents and wait for a surge. However, it should be noted that XRP has a large number of traders. They could rally to its defense if they sense a potential downtrend.
Isn't that what they've been trying to do this whole time? They've always been trying to rally to his defense, and for the last 3 years, it's been
there's always a better opportunity coming with XRP. You know what I mean?
Never,
it keeps getting better and better.
It's like, hey, if this happens, it's it's over. Like, hey, let's start looking at alternatives. No.
It's just more of an opportunity.
Better opportunity. The elites don't want you to know that this is an opportunity, and they don't want you to get in now. They're trying to scare you out to buy it all back themselves. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. Oh my god!
Because they know the government's paying $50K a piece,
bro.
You got me jaded.
Anyways,
I know. Hey, listen, I'm just waiting for it to get to $5, baby. Right below $5, half. I'm out. Well, I'm not out, but halfway, and then see what happens. I do think it can hit that on the bull market. We'll find out. If it gets down to 17 cents, though, bro, Ooh, that's hitting like my average entry, like
Ugh.
getting close. Getting close.
You got in there what, like 4 years ago?
Yeah, so it'd be getting close. I was buying it like 11 to 17 cents. So I don't know what my actual average is, but like
You
it's
see, what blows my
somewhere.
mind is what happened to the lawsuit, right? Everybody was so bullish on this lawsuit stuff. The stuff's come out like, hey, they're not a security. Hey, it's not, the court case isn't done, but it's pretty much ruled and the appeal got rejected, like all these things. And it's like, okay, the United States isn't holding XRP down anymore. But here we are. And then we got other people coming out and saying XRP and Ripple are not the same. Why is it that when Ripple got hit with the lawsuit, XRP dumped?
Yeah.
Right. And now they're still somehow can't fight off the suppression of the price, even though Ripple is pretty much won their court case.
It definitely is concerning for sure. But you already know the XRP fam is the Kool-Aid's. It's already been drank. Yeah, it's already been drank, you know. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I do want to touch this comment real quick. It says, where can I watch the fight? Green Day Profits. The actual date has not been scheduled yet, but my understanding is that you'll be able to stream it. So we'll give you that information for sure. Make sure that everybody's.
I was wondering now, where do they stream?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where. I don't know where it's going to be. But
I think
for sure
I heard Mind Your Biz tell me that they stream everything for free. Like you don't have to pay.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Have to pay to watch it like UFC. But I don't know where. I don't remember if he told me where.
Yeah, that would be super dope. Super dope. All right, smash that like. Let's talk about the last topic here. Breaking news: U.S. PPI data announced. Here's the first reaction of Bitcoin and the dollar. Important economic data are being followed this week for Bitcoin, which dropped to 27K following the ongoing tension between Israel and Hamas. At this point, data on the producer price index, that's the PPI, was announced. The data discloses as follows. PPI annual announced 2.2, expected 1.6, previous 1.6. PPI index monthly announced 0.5, expected 0.3, previous 0.7. Core, that's the core PPI, announced 2.3. Okay, so you can see these, right? The first reaction of Bitcoin and the dollar after the incoming PPI data was as follows. Okay, so Bitcoin, wah, the US dollar, whoop. So that's what that's the basically the move that happened there. Oh, well, I guess that's all they're telling us.
That's all there is. But let me show you this tweet that I got over here as well. Because let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about core inflation actually going up, which is not good because
no, of course not.
That's what the Fed's been trying to fight this whole time. They've been trying to fight the inflation, and we finally got an actual increase, a bigger increase than most people would probably like to admit. And that is going to lead to the Federal Reserve possibly doing another rate hike here before this year runs out, which I think at this point they're trying to break the banks. They're trying to break stuff so that they have the excuse like, okay, we got to start easing again. We got to start cutting rates. We got to start maybe printing some money and have that excuse, because they can't have the excuse like, okay, we're just going to start printing more money right now. But wait, isn't inflation high? Why are you printing more? Because the government said so, because they need to go to war and they need to buy stuff. They can't say that, right? So I think they're trying to break stuff. But let's look at this tweet here. U.S. national debt, right? June 2nd, $31.5 trillion. Fast forward 4 months later, we're practically at $2 trillion. We're at 33.5 on October 5th. We went from 31.5 to 33.5 trillion. Here's a nice little chart here for you guys.
And people can't understand how much $1 trillion is. That's the thing.
Dude, I've explained it on the show how $1 trillion is.
But it's 1,001 billions, which is 1,001 millions. So it is $1 million a million times over, just to be clear, guys. So it is a large freaking number, and we're talking about going up trillions of dollars in a matter of months. It is a disgusting number, and it is silently, well, it's not silent to us, but for most people, it is silently killing us. And small businesses feel it around the world. Everything rolls downhill, guys. And so when you're told that it won't Oh yeah, this is a good chart. But when you're told that these things aren't going to affect certain people, blah, 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 the only people it's not going to affect are the people that are actually running the money printer for their own gain and the government. So check this out. Good. 10,000. Okay.
10,000, right? 1 million next to a guy. 1
Okay.
billion next to a guy.
Okay.
Are you guys ready for 1 trillion? Look at how much 1 billion is. You're like, wow, that's a lot.
So look at that. So 1 billion, those look like next to, like, let's just say that's a 6 foot tall guy, right? So the million and $10,000 bills would be like a fat ass briefcase. You got the billion, you've got, those basically like a big ass. You got like 1, 2, 3, you got 10 like
10 crates.
Huge air conditioners, and really they'd be big air conditioner, but think about 10 huge air conditioning units. Okay, cool. Now what's a
look at the size.
now look at the dude.
We gotta zoom in to look.
So it's 12 foot tall. It's 12 foot. These are 12 foot tall, and God only knows how many air conditioning units we got.
Look at how many units are here. We went from this being 1 billion to this being 1 trillion.
It's absolute insanity, dude.
And we're about to hit 2 of those. Or we already did hit 2 of those in 4 months. It took 140 years for the first $1 trillion in debt, right? And then ever since then, it was a very drastic, slow phase to get all the way to 32. Right? The last 20 years, we've added the 30 trillion that we're in. And even with the fog around the world, we didn't add this much money this quickly.
Yeah.
We added a ton. We added like 80% of circulating supply. But now from June, just when you think it's all over, things are going to get better. Soft landing is coming. Here comes $2 trillion in 4 months.
Listen, man,
1 trillion in 4 months and 1 trillion in about 1 month.
I'm 39 years old, and I will tell you that as a small business owner, the construction prices are getting nuts, dude. If I told you, well, I'll just throw one out there. Albeit it's a beautiful bathroom, whatever, but it's not a huge bathroom. We're getting ready to do a bathroom for a customer. I actually was under the price of one of the other reputable contractors in the area. I think I was like $6,000 or $7,000 under them, and I was approaching the $60,000 mark for a bathroom, bro. Like, I look back on even my childhood when I moved to my first house that actually is down the street from where I live now, right? And I think my parents bought that house. That was in like 1992 for like $200,000 and put a pool and a huge deck and like all this stuff, whatever, right? Ended up selling it for $500,000, 20 years later or whatever, right? And I look at, I think when they put that pool in, as I recall, they put a big pool, and we sell pools. We'll do pools for people too. A regular pool right now up here in Ohio, if you put one in, like just a normal size pool with, a 9 foot deep end or whatever, care to guess what it would cost, Crusader, to put it in
right now?
Yeah, right now.
I would probably say about 50K.
100K.
100K.
$100,000 for
down
just
here.
To put a
growing
pool.
up, the friend had a pool made in his house, and it was like 20K.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like these numbers have gotten so wild, and the problem is like your money that you're making is not keeping up with that. And so there's a point at which like there's the haves and the have-nots, and what that does is it pushes us towards exactly what the World Economic Forum, basically is pushing us towards. Exactly that idea. You're gonna own nothing. You're gonna be happy though, right? We're gonna own everything, right?
Because some of these conversations,
exactly.
Nobody
so what
can
do you
afford
do?
houses. Nobody can afford houses. Nobody can afford rent, dude. Rent,
it's wild.
Over $2,000. I went out the other day with my wife, and I went to the bathroom, and in the bathroom there was a poster: luxury apartment starting, a studio starting $2,100.
$2,100 a month for a studio apartment that's probably 400 square feet.
I don't fit there with my kids.
No.
And $2,100 is
nuts.
More than half my salary working a full-time job, making over $50,000. I'm not gonna say the number, but over $50,000 a year.
It's nuts.
You're broke. You can't afford rent.
Yeah, you literally have to be making real deal money to be able. Yeah. So
and when you apply, they ask you to make 3 times the monthly rent.
Exactly. So there it is, right? They're putting people in a position
qualify.
They're putting people in a position where they're not going to be able to, and currently not able to, qualify for said homes, right? And that's
interest rates are like 8% now, over 8%.
I would cringe to
For a
see what
house.
my house, if I sold it right now, would be what a mortgage would look like on it.
I
It
would
would
want to know
be
who's going to buy it.
insanity. I know, that's what I'm getting at. It would be insane. Yeah. So at any rate, the whole point of that is this is happening, and you know, I know we're all starting to feel it, but this I think is going to continue to get worse. So I just want to throw out there to the chat, I just hope that you guys are all ready. I don't know what you guys do for a living. I don't know anything, but what I want to say is that, like, you have to be able to outpace this inflation. At a minimum. You've got to be able to outpace this inflation somehow, some way, right? And we're not here giving financial advice, because crypto is a risk on asset. So remember that, right? We always tell people, if you're going to get into crypto, not advice, but make sure it's money that you could just burn, that you could just throw away, to forget about, because it's an opportunity of a lifetime in some instances. But also, if you're not set up correctly and you need it back after you get burnt, that's why the narrative goes that crypto's a scam. I got screwed by this, and this. No, people have made mistakes in crypto, right? A lot of mistakes in crypto, thinking they were going to become millionaires overnight, put money in that they should not have put in, got wrecked on said money, had to pull out because they were scared and they needed the money. That's what's happened. And so we're in an environment now where everything's so daggone expensive that people are starting to, I mean, shoot, I had to look at my crypto portfolio recently. I thank God things worked out the way that they did. I did not have to touch my crypto portfolio, but I had not had to look at my crypto portfolio in a long time, thinking that I was going to have to pull something from it to make a move financially for my family. And I had to actually look at it. And I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is such a long-term play for me, but I had to look at it, which tells me that there's a lot of people that are struggling out there. And so our prayers go out to you guys. We need a change in the way that things are being done right now. Bottom line, I don't care how you look at it. It's got to change.
Yeah, man. I don't know who's going to make it better. I don't know if it's even possible to make it better at this point. I don't know if we're at that breaking point where, you know, this is the fall of the empire, right? This is just the beginning of the end, and it's only going to get worse, right? We've talked about it many times. The greatest transfer of wealth is a reason, right? When the transfer happens, the other thing dies out, right? And whoever's left holding that is at the end, they lose it all. So I don't know if that's what we're experiencing. I tend to believe that's what we're experiencing, that it is the greatest transfer of wealth. This is why we said earlier in the show, the opportunity to own one full Bitcoin, even though it's not going to make you rich overnight, right? Only one full Bitcoin in the long scheme of things, right? By the end of this decade, by the end of, you know, if you plan on leaving something for your kids and leaving something for your family when you're gone, that's probably the greatest gift of them all, is the long-term play on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because nothing is a harder money yet. No money has been created as harder than Bitcoin is. And that's what the Bitcoin standard really talks about. What is hard money? What's fake money? How does it work? And that's what makes you actually realize, like, oh, snap, this Bitcoin thing I should be taking a closer look at.
Yeah, and they've created this whole, the Green Day Prophet said the days of single income family are long gone, and that's sad. They've created that, bro. Like effectively, they have created the idea. If you go back, this goes way back, right? We can't dive into all this, but it goes back to even just the time when they started talking about women's rights. And effectively what they were pushing was the idea that if they get women to go to work, right, they can do a couple things. One thing is they have extra taxable income coming
50% extra taxable income.
Yeah, so they double the amount of income coming in for the government, right? If you really look at it, right? Also, what's it do? It splits the family unit, which is one of the things that we've talked about a lot. It takes the family unit, splits it apart. Somebody else is raising the kids as opposed to the parents. It's the reason why my wife stays home. We've been blessed to be able to do that, but that's not the norm anymore, right? And ultimately, like, they've created that purposefully to be able to basically manufacture children and raise them the way that they want them to be raised, to have the thoughts that they want them to have, so that in the future they're able to basically have a bunch of NPCs running around doing exactly. I mean, I'm telling you, it's been a whole thing.
I've been thinking about turning into a Mormon, bro, and like start getting some sister wives. Some take care of the kids, others have to go to work to get multiple incomes going, go buy a farm, homestead, right? Everybody's got room, everybody got space. That's the only way to live these days, bro. They want you to be a Mormon. They want you to have multiple incomes in the house.
Oh my
There's
God,
no way that a regular freaking couple and raising children at the same time as possible. So yeah, you guys, here it is. It's not financial advice, but go find yourself some sister wives.
Yeah.
It's getting rough out here.
And put them to work.
Yeah.
Put them to work. Crypto fam, we love you. We appreciate you for being here. You could have been anywhere on a Wednesday afternoon, but you're hanging out with Debate Crypto. Guys, make sure to sign up for Trading Wars. 20% bonus and 20% off of your trading fees. Make sure you deposit at least $100 so you get that 20% up to as much as you want. Like if you got 10 grand, you want to do listen, be smart, but do your thing. Get your 20%. Take advantage of it, and then get 20% off. The Trading War starts on Monday, and tomorrow is the live draft. So make sure that you're here tomorrow afternoon. Some of the guys from Trading Wars are going to be on here, going to talk some trash, have some fun. So make sure that you guys are here. All right. Again, we love you guys. Just remember, question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.